Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back once again to Breath of Fire 4. When we last left off, well, we were in Dreamland. If you don't believe me, I can actually show you. Proof, undeniable, that we are located in Dreamland. Located on my memory card, right there. Chapter 2, Associations. Location, Dreamland. This is actually the third time I've had to record this. The first, well, actually it's the fourth time I've started to record this, but basically the first time I recorded this, I was sick, and I started to sit down to edit the video, and I was like, you know what, no, this is terrible. I was just so sick, coughing, very, very quiet, sick, so I scrapped it. Then, the second time I did this, basically, I forgot that Skype completely messes up, and this right here is the save file from that second time right there. I completely forgot that Skype completely ruins my recording setup. Basically, whenever I start Skype, I was Skyping with a friend of mine who is out of state, talking with him, and basically, I open Skype, and it completely burr-jiggered my recording setup. So I recorded with this bad setup, and basically my the volume was really loud. It was garbled and But anyway, there's a couple of new enemies here. One of them is, of course, the Toxic Fly. The other there is the Armor. Toxic Flies are pretty easy to kill. They have very little HP. They do have a pretty high dodge chance, so it's best to use magic against them. They can poison you. If you didn't learn Chlorine from Chamba, you can learn it from these guys here. The other enemy is the Armor. Basically, what Armors are, they are a part of a special group of enemies that I like to call blockers. Basically, some enemies in the game, when you attack them, you get a star next to the number. And this means that it's blocked like 90% of all the damage you do. I don't know the exact percentage, but it blocks quite a bit. Usually you can overcome their blocking by just powering straight through. And what this does usually is destroy what they're blocking with. Now, for example, with the Armor, you would, of course, destroy his armor, making the name not very accurate. But at the same time, if you did that, it usually changes what they drop. There's a few enemies like this. Some event in battle will actually change what they drop. In the Armor's case, if you attack them with physical damage, then they will, of course, no longer drop their armor. The best way, which I think is a cuirass. The best way to go about this, of course, is to just attack them with magic. Now, the cuirass has an incredibly low drop chance, so I actually recommend you don't really go for it. What I do recommend you go for, however, is to guard against them until you learn the ability they teach, which is Wild Swing. And oh wait, I got a whatchamacallit tag, didn't I? Yeah, I guess I did. Nina's probably gonna learn it. Yeah, she always learns it. But anyway, Wild Swing does kind of random damage. As you can see there, it did very little damage. Well, basically, what it'll do is it'll do incredibly low damage, normal damage, or double damage. It's basically it's sort of a gamble, but it costs 0 AP, and and it's almost always better than just using your regular attack, because you will either do normal damage or double damage. It's really good for Cray because he has very little AP, and basically it gives him an ability to use, a physical ability to use that lets him get in on combos. Now, for the Armor himself, he also drops one other thing. The Raptor Claws. The Raptor Claws are a weapon for Urshin, who you may notice we do not actually have in our party currently. I'll get more into that in a second. Basically, the Raptor Claws are wind elemental, very powerful for this point in the game, and they actually have a decent drop rate. In that last scrapped run, I actually got a pair of Raptor Claws, but I fought 2 battles and won them. Usually I can get them from here. I mean, it doesn't always happen, but 2 out of 3 times I come through this area of the game, I end up with a pair of Raptor Claws. They're fairly common. In fact, if you want to stay and get a pair, it shouldn't take you that long. I actually do recommend that you... I was kind of hoping for a pair of Raptor Claws there, but sadly no. I actually recommend that you be very, very careful. The enemies here are like 5 dungeons ahead in terms of strength as to what level you more than likely are, unless you did an excessive amount of grinding. Because of that, you can actually grind here and get really high levels. Everything you get here, items, levels, everything, it carries over when you're done, even though this is a dream sequence. This is a really good place to do that because there is a diary, there's a rest point here. You can save your game here. It's very good. The problem with that is twofold. One, you don't have Urshin in your party. She will miss out on every bit of experience you get here. 2, you do not have masters. We're actually very, very soon, in fact, right after you leave this place here, you actually get your first master in the next area you go to. Honestly, the grinding in here is not really worth it. I mean, you might want to... You could walk around a little bit and try and get a pair of Raptor Claws. The armor is probably the most common enemy, at least down here on the bottom. There are 2 other enemies you can face here. I don't think you can face the Gong Head actually downstairs, but they do for sure appear upstairs. And they're probably the most dangerous enemy you will fight in this thing. They can... they have a move that basically allows them to... It's, I forget exactly what it's called, but it looks like a charge ability. They glow in a glowing aura, and they ram. I think it might be called ram, actually. But I can't really tell you what it's called unless it gets used on me, due to the fact that... let's just use... The only abilities I have written down in my bestiary are the ones that are learnable, so... Come on, Raptor Claws! Oh, well. Don't feel too bad if you don't get the Raptor Claws. Urshin actually has a almost comparable weapon you can get. It's a little weaker, but not by a whole lot, like 4 points, and we can get that soon enough. I mean, it's not a great big deal. Got an arm there. If you go down here, there's nothing in here. Oh, by the way, I was talking about enemies. The other enemy that's here is called the Rat. Rats are very, very dodge happy. They will... let's see if I can actually get in a battle with one. Basically, rats, they give stupidly high experience points for this point in the game. Each rat you kill will give you 200 experience points, and that is a lot. It is a whole lot. They do tend to run away, and you're probably not going to be able to touch them at all with any physical attacks. So you want to use magic. If you can. If you run into a Gong Head, use pretty much this combo right here on them. They're incredibly weak to wind magic. It even says so in the description of them. Just have... just hopefully the Gong Head won't kill one of your characters, because if he does that one move that I was talking about, if you're about my level, you'll die. If you're a little higher, you might survive. If you're defending, you probably will survive. So basically, if you run into one, have everyone else who's not attacking defend, and then go at him. Try not to go at pretty much any of the monsters in here, minus the toxic flies. Try not to go at any of them with any physical attacks whatsoever. You're going to do very little damage. You're better off using magic. There's a gong head. Son of a... See, flying creature has a weakness to wind magic. Okay, so let's try and kill it fast. Hopefully he won't kill somebody. Let's go ahead and... You know what? I have a spare Molotov. Remember to keep one of every item in your... Oh, ram. That's it. Oh, no! Oh, he survived. Phew. See how much damage it did, though? Oh, my goodness. But he has a weakness to wind attacks. Hopefully the Molotov will kill him. Yeah. Well, anyway, apparently I'm not going to get a set of Raptor Claws this time. C'est la vie. It's gone. Oh, wait. You know what? Well, actually, it doesn't matter. Because as soon as you go through this curtain, the sequence is pretty much over. Sacrifice, huh? But anyway, that character right there is someone we're going to learn more in depth about later. His name is Yuna. You're basically going to learn to hate him a lot. You know, I've never actually done this. Oh, okay. I've never actually tried to walk out of the curtain until just now. And if you walk across here, go through here, and the dream sequence is over. Oh, yeah. I got incredibly lucky on my second playthrough. So much so, I might actually load that file once I get to that point in the game. I mean, I think I ended up with a glass. I won a glass domino from someone. I won Raptor Claws, and there was something else I won. I picked up that that made me go, "Wow, I'm getting really lucky." And I even made the joke, "Watch something go wrong with the recording," and of course it did. So here we are again. This is take 3 or 4. I say 4 because I actually recorded for like 15 minutes last night, but I was just so tired. Got off work late. You know, I only get a couple hours after work. Oh, possible future. In fact, I have to go to bed in about 45 minutes, as it is now. The Dragon's Eye. But in case you're wondering, I get up about 4:30 in the morning, leave the house at 5, get off work, and I get home about 5 o'clock in the afternoon. So I have 12-hour days. And I go to bed about 8 o'clock at night, so it's 7:15 now. I love that confused look on Nina's face. It's so awesome. Oh. Apparently so. I love how they decide to take Ryu with them without really asking. Well, they kind of imply that Ryu said, "Okay, yeah, sure, I'll go with you. I got nowhere else better to go." But at the same time, you never, ever see them ask. It's implied that they ask. And I find that kind of funny. It's like, you must go with us. You know what, Nina? Some random dream that you had is really still not a lot to go on. And of course, Urshan will tag along. Thank you, Urshan. No, you shouldn't thank Urshan. You should thank Urshan. Thank you, Urshan. That's right, folks. those parts we got, well, we will never, ever, ever use. The crash site here is pretty much useless to us. There is one thing we can do here later in the game. Of course, so we'll have to visit here one more time. But the whole debacle, getting the ship parts, going to the Sandflyer Valley to get the ship parts, getting chased by those, everything was worthless.